Opposition leader Pierre Poilievre is reacting to David Johnston's decision not to recommend an inquiry into foreign election interference.
We will be producing more green hydroelectricity here in Quebec. That is common sense, and that's our agenda. Unfortunately, today we've learned that Justin Trudeau's ski buddy, who is a member of the Trudeau Foundation, is trying to camouflage Beijing's interference in our elections. We know that Beijing paid $140,000 to the Trudeau Foundation in an attempt to influence and buy Justin Trudeau's favor. We know that Beijing has interfered in 2 elections to secure the Liberal Party's victory and elect Justin Trudeau. The government has been aware of these facts for years. We know that Justin Trudeau appointed his family friend, his ski buddy, his cottage neighbor, and a member of the Trudeau Foundation, and appointed him to help hide these facts. And that's exactly what has happened today. This friend of Justin Trudeau's is helping the Prime Minister to hide either the Prime Minister's incompetence or his complicity when it comes to Beijing's interference. The Conservative Party is renewing its demand for a public inquiry so that now we can expose all of Beijing's manipulations in our economy and our democracy. Only the Conservative Party will be able to trigger this public inquiry and expose the truth for all Canadians. We also demand a foreign interference registry. This is to expose all people who are paid by Beijing or other dictatorships to manipulate our democracy. That is just common sense.
Quebec City, where I'm joined with my Quebec Lieutenant, Pierre Poilievre. We're spreading our message of getting rid of the carbon tax to bring home lower prices. That's a 61-cent a litre carbon tax that Trudeau wants to impose on Canadians with the help of the NDP and Bloc Québécois. Second, we want to bring home powerful paychecks by lowering income taxes to reward hard work. And third, we're talking about bringing homes people can afford and bringing jobs people can do, earning big salaries, by getting rid of the gatekeepers, by green lighting green projects, speeding up approvals for large resource projects, and by incentivizing cities to speed up and lower the cost of building permits so we can bring homes people can afford. It's just common sense. But unfortunately, there's no common sense in Justin Trudeau's Ottawa. We see today that his ski buddy...
And we've been listening to opposition leader Pierre Poilievre reacting to Special Rapporteur David Johnston's decision not to recommend an inquiry into the foreign election interference, saying, quote, he's either helping the Prime Minister hide incompetence or complicity. Let's go back live.
So that's why the third link with cars is not going forward. So do you think Mr. Legault will go back to his other project? Monsieur Legault can make his own decisions, but I congratulate him for cutting taxes. And I would assure him that a Poilievre Prime Minister in Ottawa would cut taxes as well so that Quebecers can bring big paychecks home.
I presume you watched Mr. Johnston's presentation earlier today, and he said that when he started the process, he thought that he would conclude there should be a public inquiry. He didn't come to that conclusion, because he says there's a lot of confidential information. Now, one thing he proposes, he's going to have public hearings about things that he can talk about in public, but he also invited the 3 opposition leaders, which includes you, to join NCCOP. Would you join NCCOP?
David Johnston is Trudeau's ski buddy. You're
not answering the question.
I'll answer it how I choose. You get to ask the question, I get to answer it. So I'll choose how I answer it. And the answer is that David Johnston is a ski buddy, chalet neighbor, family friend, and member of the Trudeau Foundation. He has no business in this job because it is a fake job that he is incapable of doing impartially. And none of his recommendations can be taken seriously because he's in a conflict of interest. And frankly, it's incredible that he didn't even mention the Trudeau Foundation in his report, even though publicly available intelligence showed that the dictatorship in Beijing had given money to the Trudeau Foundation for the express purpose of buying the love and loyalty of Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada. Now, Johnston is part of the Trudeau Foundation, so of course he wouldn't want to investigate himself. But frankly, that's why he should have recused himself. As for any proposals he might have to silence me, the answer is no, I will not be silenced. Thank you.
Will you be joining Nancy Kopp?
No.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Matt Grillo with CTV. The recommendation is public hearings. Is that enough to shed light on foreign interference, and will you be a willing participant in those hearings?
So we don't trust David Johnston to do public hearings because he is a family friend, cottage neighbor, and ski buddy of the Prime Minister. He's also part of the Trudeau Foundation. His report today confirmed his bias by his unwillingness to even report on the money that went to the Trudeau Foundation from Beijing to influence the Prime Minister. So he cannot preside over public hearings or anything else. He is not impartial. He needs to get out of the way and allow for a full public inquiry so that we can get to the bottom of Beijing's interference in our democracy.
Juste une petite dernière question, Monsieur Poilievre, pour mes collègues de la colline d'Ottawa. Je sais pas si ça serait
Question for my colleagues on the Hill.
Obtenir votre code de sécurité maximal.
Will you get maximum security clearance in order to consult the confidential information in Mr. Johnston's report? First, I think I have that already because I was a minister. I had the ability to get briefings when I was a minister. When it comes to Mr. Johnston and the briefings, I know that he is already a friend of Justin Trudeau, a member of the Trudeau Foundation, a cottage neighbor. So what he found and said and what he has to say is not impartial. So I do not have confidence in his reports.
I was already had clearance enough to be in a federal cabinet. I'm a member of the Privy Council, and so I'm already able to receive information. I will not allow any process that is designed to silence me, though. And we're not going to allow the government to silence leaders of the opposition by swearing them to secrecy on this matter of grave public importance. Their problem has been too much secrecy, not too little. And Justin Trudeau wants to cover up the facts because they're very embarrassing to him. He was either negligent or complicit in Beijing's interference in our democracy. He doesn't want us to know which it is.
Voulez-vous quand même consulter le rapport final?
Will you read the final report?
Je pense que ça arrive en...
I think the final report is coming in the fall. Obviously, we will read any public document, but that's not to say I support the process. Thank you.
And with that, complicity, conflict of interest, camouflage, Beijing's interference into the election, this opposition leader, Pierre Poilievre, used in reacting to David Johnston's decision not to recommend an inquiry into foreign election interference.